Ooh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB. Welcome back to more of the local to global save. We are playing as the IWC, our personal created company here, and we are starting in the 1970s and working our way towards becoming the biggest wrestling company. There's no specific year in mind. It's just we're going to do it. We're going to be Vince McMahon. The fans will be screaming the name John Doe for the rest of their lives. I see Dub. What was I going to say? Let's just get on with the show, shall we? I don't got much to talk about, so let's go ahead and start the show. We are continuing on. I believe this is the start of round 2 in the IWC Regional Championship Tournament. We'll see 2 matches take place tonight. 2 matches next week, I believe, and we're almost close to crowning our first ever champion in the IWC. So tonight we're being held in front of 91 people in the Southwest region. We got a 34E+. We're still, we don't have an arena or anything. We're just in some parking lot or our backyard, one of the two. But nonetheless, 34E+ as we open up the night with President Jody Arnold. He's standing in the ring. He's welcoming the crowd to tonight's show. He's hyping up the show, getting the crowd excited for the night. But before he can finish what he's saying, out comes, oh Lord, it's Ripper Savage, everybody. Ripper Savage is here. Here we go. Jody starts off. He's confused just as we are. And he's like, Ripper, what in tarnation are you doing out here? And, well, let's hear what Ripper has to say.
Look here, Mr. President. I see what you're up to. I may look like a musclehead, but there's a brain up here. And now after Miss Sari explained it to me, I understand completely.
Well, I'm glad you understand, Ripper, because I'm not sure I understand. Come on, get out with it already.
You're afraid of me, aren't you, Mr. President? That's why you went out and hired that Everest Savage to throw me off my game. 'Cause you don't want to face the Slaughterhouse Savage, do you?
And Jody kind of taken aback by this, and he goes, Ripper, that could not be further from the truth. Look, I ain't afraid of you. I'll fight you any day of the week. But right now, I gotta focus on the IWC Regional Championship. Unlike you, I'm still in this tournament. And then that's when Ripper Savage, I said he grabbed him by the throat, but maybe he doesn't grab him by the throat. He just grabs him kind of by like the shirt or the jacket, whatever he's wearing. And he goes,
well, what happens if I just take you out and take your place then? Huh?
So Ripper threatening the president there. He is not happy that he's not in this IWC regional tournament. He tried to get Jody Arnold to put him back in the tournament. Jody refused to. So now he's threatening to just take out Jody and replace him tonight. But that's not going to happen because as we pull up the handy dandy, I don't think I need this actually. I was going to say, you know what? I don't think I actually need this handy dandy notepad because really I didn't need to finish what I needed to say. Honestly, what happens here is Jody's looking like he's going to get hit by Ripper Savage. And out comes Don Savage, our military man, ex-military. I think he feels one of those things, right? I put Don Arnold. It's Don Savage, not Arnold. But yeah, he's kind of got like the G.I. Joe ex-military gimmick for us here. The all-American boy, pretty much. He comes racing down to the ring. And Ripper, not wanting really much to do anything with Don Savage right now. You know what? Actually, I changed my mind. Ripper stays in the ring. Him and Don maybe have a little bit of a stare down. And, Ripper being kind of like the smug heel and all that. Like, come on, make your move, bud. And Savage probably pushes Ripper, and Ripper falls on his ass, and then Ripper kind of being embarrassed gets out of the ring before things get too physical between him and Don Savage here. Of course, Miss Sherry helping Ripper out during this segment. She's amazing. The Real Savage storyline progressing as well. And we get ready for our opening match of the night, which is our first match in round 2 of the IWC Regional Championship Tournament. We get a 40 D- rating here. Decent matchup. The President, Jody Arnold, going over the Cowboy, Frank Dalton, in 10 minutes, 27 seconds with the backbreaker. So they had an okay match, nothing too shabby here. Frank Dalton, unfortunately, being booted out of the tournament, but that's what happens when you take on the president. Not only is Jody Arnold the president of this company, he's a damn fine wrestler, and it's going to be hard to take him out of this tournament. He's probably one of the favorites. Frank Dalton getting better at his gimmick. That's awesome. Crowd was hotter for this matchup. Jody Arnold with an in-ring performance of a 44. You can't beat that. He's definitely probably the best wrestler on our roster. At least most popular, probably. And Frank Dalton with a in-ring performance of a 29. So he's getting up there as well. Jody Arnold also improving in his performance skills. Good for you, Jody. Good for you. We then move on to the next segment, which gets an 18E- rating here, as Jim Alexi struts his way down to the ring with his guitar. Jim Alexi, of course, is kind of our Elvis impersonator gimmick here. A stool is already set up in the middle of the ring, and IWC's King takes center stage. So this next angle, I kind of think is a little bit like the Elias segments that we see, where, of course, Jim Alexi is probably going to try to perform, and he's going to be interrupted. But anyway, let's just get on with it. So Alexi sits down in his stool. He sets his guitar up. He takes to the mic and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight? You've already seen some great action already when our president, Mr. Jody Arnold, took on and defeated that tobacco-chewing hick, Frank Dalton. Speaking of hicks, this song is dedicated to my opponent tonight, who I want to wish just the worst of what luck next week in his regional championship match. And hopefully after I beat him tonight, President Jody Arnold will place me with him. But let's tackle just one thing at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, Cousin Slim, this one goes out to you." So he begins to play his song that he has dedicated to his opponent, Cousin Slim. But before Jim Alexi can really get started, that's when Cousin Slim makes his entrance. And of course, Cousin Slim's not the smartest guy in the world. He comes down, he's just waving to the crowd, he's having a grand old time. The fans love Cousin Slim. And Alexi, annoyed that Cousin Slim has come out a little too early, he takes to the mic again and he goes, "Slim, what are you doing? You were supposed to wait until after my song." "Oh, you stupid redneck hillbilly, get in this ring so I can beat you silly." So maybe, after he says, you were supposed to come out after my song, Cousin Slim's kind of sitting there scratching his head like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And that's when he goes, "You stupid redneck, get in this ring." So not only is that going to get the crowd hotter here, but it is going to start our new storyline called The Rockstar versus the Rockabilly. And, yeah, well, that's just the start of it. Nothing too special to say there. But let's go ahead and start it off with this matchup here. We get a 27 solid E rating here, and great. 27 solid E rating here, and about that had a decent reaction from the crowd. But subpar wrestling to it. Cousin Slim goes over Jim Alexi in 10 minutes, 14 seconds with a surprise roll-up pin, catching Jim Alexi off guard and securing a quick pin here, or a quick win, I should say. The downside here, though, is even though we have these two in a feud now, apparently... Oh, never mind. I read that wrong. Hell yes. I thought that said they had poor chemistry, but... Never mind. This isn't a downside. This is an upside. Jim Alexi and Cousin Slim have great chemistry, and... I got hiccups. And it showed in their in-ring performances, so... That's awesome. That's going to help this storyline out for sure. I hate hiccups so much. Stop hiccups, please. I'm trying to read. Jim Alexi with an in-ring performance of a 29. He outperformed Cousin Slim, who had a 24 in-ring performance. Gained heat for their feud as well. No worker improvements. As we then move on to the next segment, which gets a 46 solid D rating here. Jody Arnold, the president, he's searching for Ripper Savage backstage because after what just happened in the opening segment with him coming out, pretty much trying to threaten Jody Arnold and all that, he's not going to have it. He goes and finds Ripper Savage. He's working out backstage for some reason. Like, you don't have a match, dude. Why are you working out? Anyway, Jody walks right up to Ripper and he makes himself perfectly clear. And he goes, "Ripper, I want to make one thing clear. I won't stand for you causing any problems tonight."
"Why, Mr. President, I never..."
"Don't try to pull that bull crap with me, Ripper. I know your motives, and I'm telling you that if you interfere tonight in our main event, there will be consequences. You understand me?"
"Yes, jeez, God."
Good. And then Jody Arnold just walks out, clearly making it clear to Ripper Savage that what happened in the opening segment better not happen in the main event tonight, because Don Savage is going to be in action tonight. He's got his match tonight, and he does not want to see Ripper Savage anywhere near that ring during Don Savage's match. So, gain some heat for their feud. No worker improvements, though. 46 solid D, though. Can't complain there. As we move on to our main event of the night, round 2 of the IWC Regional Championship Tournament. Don Savage taking on Alex the Butcher with a 39 D- rating here. We have a decent matchup here with Alex the Butcher going over Don Savage in 12 minutes, 36 seconds by pinfall following interference from Ripper Savage. So the President's warning did not stop him. Ripper Savage came down to the ring, and he cost Don Savage this match. He hit him somehow. Maybe Miss Sherry was distracting the referee. Ripper Savage comes in, takes him out, maybe a forearm, or I don't know what he does. Either way, he struck Don Savage, and him striking Savage leads to Alex the Butcher pinning the man and moving on in this IWC Regional Championship Tournament. Don Savage getting better at his gimmick. He had an in-ring performance of a 38. Alex the Butcher with a 33, so not too shabby. In fact, they got a 39, so they performed a point better than Savage's in-ring performance. So, good stuff, guys. The Butcher is improving in his performance skills as well, so good stuff for you. And then afterwards, the beatdown continues. We go to a 44 solid D rating here, as Ripper just continues to attack Don Savage, talking smack to him and kicking him while he's down. And that leads, of course, Jody Arnold coming down to the ring, and Ripper and Miss Sherry kind of leaving the ring because the President told them there will be consequences. So they leave the ring while the President stops him from attacking Don Savage and checks on him, with Ripper and Miss Sherry not only leaving the ring, but the arena at the same time. Sherry looking good out there. Just get out of the way, OBS. No one cares about you. Sherry looking good out there, as she always does, and the Real Savage storyline still gaining some heat as well. So, all in all, I'd say this was a pretty strong show. Definitely revolved around Ripper Savage, but he is kind of like our main face of the company right now. So, and when I say face, I don't mean like baby face. I mean like he's the heel, but he's kind of like our top star. So, anyway, we get a 40 D- rating for the show, increasing our popularity in the one region. So, all in all, good show, good show. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to definitely compliment Jody Arnold here tonight. He carried his match up to a 40, and him being in all those angles helped the Ripper Savage feud probably a bit more. Probably gonna give Don Savage a bit of a. We're gonna do Jody, Don, and Jim Alexi, because Alexi carried his match as well. So Jody, give him some encouragement. Jim Alexi, give him some encouragement, and Don Savage will give encouragement because he outperformed his opponent as well. So here we go. Jody was happy with our speech. Jim Alexi seemed pleased, and Don Savage seemed pleased. So all in all, not too shabby of a show. We're moving forward. We know Jody Arnold and Alex the Butcher have moved on to the tournament. So next month in October, we'll find out if Randy Tyler